Okay, we've officially started our second week of senior year. Now this one was pretty more interesting than the last week, so I'm gonna make this as fun and as interesting as possible. Now, Monday, first day of our second week. Nothing really interesting going into Algebra 2, nothing really interesting happens. We're learning about things called z-scores. And z-scores are a data value that shows many standard deviations. A data value is from the mean. When the z-score is positive, the data value is above the mean. If the z-score is negative, the data value is below the mean. If the z-score equals 0, the data value equals the mean. Now, the equation for this is z equals x minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. That seems simple. Now we got 52 minus 46 over 2.8, 214, that's a z-score. Okay, I'm not really gonna explain all this because I'm not really wasting y'all time with this. Then we have quadratic regressions. In the previous unit, you learned how to take data from a linear pattern and write a line of best fit. Sometimes data shows a curve, and it's appropriate to write a curve of best fit using quadratic regression. Now, the equations for this are linear, which is y1 equals ax1 plus b. Quadratic is y equals ax1 squared plus bx1 plus c. Cubic, y1 equals ax1 cubed plus bx1 squared plus cx1 plus d. Quartic, this is going to be a handful. y1 equals ax1 4, I don't know, plus bx1 cubed plus cx1 squared plus dx1 plus f. We can't use e because e is already a huge number on its own. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. So this was just hard, bro. Pause. And now on to history. Now history, this entire week has been doing nothing but discovering our founding principles of our American lives. Stuff like the Declaration of Independence, the Articles of Confederation, and the US Constitution, and philosophers. And of course, before we left last week, I didn't include that in the video last week, but we did a little thing on 9/11 because that was such an American tragedy that we had a little assignment on it, which is completely understandable because 9/11 was not something that we can really joke about. Sure, there are going to be some jokes on the internet, but it's just really not that funny. And US Constitution and all the founding principles, they weren't really nothing that special. We just had to name some pretty understanding points from each website that we were given. Glossary of important words we had to use. And then after that, I had to write a paragraph calling, "Did the goals of American government change the Declaration of Independence to the Constitution?" Now, I don't want to read what I wrote because I'm slightly embarrassed by it. And now, on to Spanish. Now for Spanish, we're doing vocabulary and words for verbs. Now, for our first slides, we have por la mañana tengo que, meaning what do you do in the morning? Despertarme a las 6, meaning waking up at 6 in the morning. Levantarme, meaning you wake up. Ducharme, meaning you take a shower. Vestirme, meaning you put on your clothes. Peinarme, you brush your hair. Maquillarme, you put on makeup. Afeitarme, you shave. And lavarme los dientes, you brush your teeth. Now every time we walk into Spanish class, she uses this on us and we have to name one of them. I mostly do levantarme and lavarme los dientes. En el baño, we have el jabón, meaning use soap. El shampoo, la ducha, the shower. El inodoro, meaning use the toilet. And la pasta de dientes, in toothpaste. El cepillo de dientes, use in your toothbrush. And la toalla, your towels, of course. Por las noches necesito. Well, it's pretty much what you do when you get home after school. Quitarme la ropa, meaning taking off your clothes. Bañarme, you take a bath. Ponerme el pijama, put on your pajamas. Lavarme la cara, you wash your face, and acostarme, meaning you go to sleep. Now, acostarme is what I do every time I come home from school. And the last thing for Spanish is our verbs. Now, verbs reflexivos, meaning it's pretty much just one person doing one simple action. Now, if it's non-reflexive, then it's one person doing an action for another person. Now, verbs with reflexive pronouns. If the subject and object of the verb are the same, a reflexive pronoun can be used. The reflexive pronoun shows that the subject acts upon itself. When you conjugate a verb and like lavarse, include the reflexive pronoun that agrees with the subject. Pronouns: yo, tú, ud, él, ella, nosotros, vosotros. No one really uses vosotros, but a few people do, but not a lot of people do. Like us, like ustedes, and ellos, and ellas. Now, reflexive pronouns can go before a conjugated verb or can be joined to end of an infinitive. Reflexive pronouns can go before a conjugated verb or can be joined to the end of an infinitive. After reflexive verbs, use el, la, los, or las with parts of the body or clothing. Me lavo la cara, I am washing my face. El gato se lava la cara, the cat is washing his face. Tengo que lavarme las manos, I have to wash my hands. Or el chico necesita lavarse las manos, the boy needs to wash his hands. Now, verbs can be used with reflexive pronouns that refer to the subject or with direct objects that are different from the subject. Cepilar, cepilarse? I don't know. Se cepila los dientes, which is reflexive, meaning only one person is doing it. La niña cepila los dientes de su hermana menor. This is not reflexive because it's a person doing a certain action for another person. Now, using infinitives, a reflexive pronoun can go at the end of an infinitive or before a conjugated verb. The meaning does not change. No me quiero afeitar hoy, I don't want to shave today, or no quiero afeitarme hoy. Now, to say something that somebody just did, use the present tense acabar de followed by an infinitive. Acabar de lavar el carro, I just washed the car. Los niños acaban de acostarse, the kids just went to bed. Now, there's probably going to be some people speaking Spanish that are going to say I got all of this wrong, but I'm glad I can finally get this part out of the way because now I can get to the actual fun part. And now for the part that I've been waiting to tell this entire video. There was a fight.
It's about to go down.
And we started school on September the 7th, and this fight happened on September the 14th. So we were in school for exactly 1 week, and there was already a fight. I was expecting a fight to happen in a month. Now, granted, there are some schools that had fights within like the first day of school or on the 4th day of school, but I wasn't expecting one in a week. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't record it. Because I'm so used to seeing fights at the school, I just do not care. But now I'm looking back and regretting that I didn't record it. But when I got back home from school and I told my mom about it, told my stepdad about it, somebody posted the video on Instagram and I screen recorded it, and now you get to see it. It is currently Sunday, September 19th, and I still don't know what that fight was over. But all I know is that I'm sitting in line next to my boy Derek, and all of a sudden, these two dudes just fall right in front of us, and I'm just like, what's going on? And I just see dude in red sweatpants in his bag just throwing punches at the dude in black. As soon as administrators be coming in, security is found nowhere. Security is nowhere to be found because security just, they don't help. The administrators were trying to get the dudes off, and then I saw the dude in black trying to get him some hits in. He wasn't even punching, he was slapping. All I know is that red sweatpants, he won. if you fight a dude in sweatpants, chances are you are gonna lose. And he had his bag on too. That is full on humiliation. I've seen that enough times to know that man lost. I didn't record it even though I was fully capable of it. I was just completely in awe. And nobody else got up either. Like everybody else just turned around like this was normal. And for some reason the principal praised us saying, "I am so proud of all of you for staying in your seats. Give yourselves a round of applause." And I'm like, okay. Now, to be honest, this isn't the first fight that I've seen at the school. I've seen like 2 other ones happen. I'm probably gonna make a video on those 2 other fights someday, either on Instagram or here. It doesn't matter. I told you this was gonna get interesting. I'll see y'all next week. I hope you enjoyed. Y1 equals AX1. Y equal levarme la cara.